We weren't playing anything cursed. No haunted rulebooks. No sketchy PDFs pulled from dead forums. Nothing homebrewed, nothing occult. It was just Dungeons and Dragons. A regular campaign we'd been running for almost 3 years. Every Friday night. Same table. Same people. Same bad habits. That's why it took us so long to notice when things went wrong. Our group was 5 players and a DM. Evan ran the game. He always had. He was the kind of dungeon master who loved details. Hand-drawn maps, color-coded notes, little voices for NPCs. He treated the rules like suggestions, but the story like scripture. That night was supposed to be simple. A dungeon crawl. 1 session. In and out. I was playing a cleric. Not important which god. It never is. We ordered pizza. Someone spilled soda on a character sheet. We laughed about it. Evan complained about grease on the dice. Normal. Completely normal. Evan cleared his throat and said, "All right. Let's begin." Then he didn't ask us to roll. At first, I didn't clock it as strange. Sometimes Evan skipped formalities when he was excited. He just looked down at his notes and said, "You enter the chamber. No initiative. No marching order. No perception checks. Just you enter." The room he described was circular. Stone walls. A low ceiling. Runes carved into the floor in a pattern none of us recognized. One of the players, Mark, asked what language the runes were in. Evan didn't look up. "They aren't written for you," he said. We laughed. Nervous, but laughing. That should have been the first warning. The first roll that bothered me wasn't dramatic. It was mine. I said I wanted to cast Detect Magic. Evan nodded and told me to roll. I rolled the die. It landed crooked, half against the book. Evan leaned forward and said, "That's a 9. I picked the die up. It was a 4. I told him that. He didn't argue. Didn't apologize. He just said, "No. It isn't." Then he described the spell failing. We exchanged looks. Someone joked about house rules. Evan smiled like he always did and kept going. We let it slide. That was our second mistake. A few minutes later, Sarah's character took damage. She hadn't been attacked. Evan just said, "You feel pressure in your chest. Take 6 points." She asked from what? Evan answered, "From being noticed." She laughed, but she was pale. When she marked the damage on her sheet, she stopped smiling. There was a bruise forming on her collarbone. Dark. Fresh. She said it was probably nothing. She always bruised easily. No one wanted to be the one to say it out loud. The game started moving faster after that. Too fast. Rooms blurred together. Combat happened without initiative. Evan stopped asking what we wanted to do and started telling us. "You hesitate. You step forward. You fail to react." At some point, I realized we hadn't rolled dice in a while. Evan was still announcing results. Failures. Always failures. I remember thinking it felt less like a game and more like a verdict. The worst moment came when Mark stood up. He said he needed air. That he was done for the night. Evan didn't look at him. He just said, "Your character stays." Mark froze. We laughed again, automatic, uncomfortable, but Evan didn't join us. He described Mark's character standing silently in the chamber, eyes open, breathing shallow. Mark said, "No. I leave." Evan nodded. "Your character doesn't." Mark left anyway. Slammed the door. The room felt colder afterward. Evan continued describing Mark's character. Still present. Still breathing. No one said anything? That's when the lights flickered. Just once. Evan smiled. "The dungeon reacts," he said. I asked how much HP Mark's character had left. Evan flipped a page in his notebook. "All of it," he said. And none of it. I don't remember deciding to end the session. I just remember Evan closing his book and saying, "We'll stop here." None of us argued. We packed up quietly. No jokes. No post-game chatter. Sarah asked Evan what that session was about. He said, "It wanted to finish." That night, I dreamed of dice rolling across a stone floor that never stopped echoing. I woke up with my hands sore, like I'd been gripping something too hard. We agreed over text to end the campaign. No debate. No nostalgia. Just done. We met one last time, not to play, but to destroy the materials. Rulebooks went into trash bags. Character sheets shredded. Printed notes burned in Evan's backyard fire pit. Evan didn't protest. He watched the flames like he was counting something. When the fire died, he said, "It doesn't need props anymore." Then he went inside. We never played again. Mark stopped answering messages a few months later. Sarah still has the bruise. It never faded. As for me, sometimes, late at night, when my apartment is quiet, I hear dice roll. Just once. From nowhere. And somewhere deep in my memory, I know exactly what number came up.